is lovely. Thank you.
There we go.
Andy and Judith.
Okay.
Yeah, guys.
Anzac Day cometh. Hooray, hooray. War, damn war. What is it? Who is it for? Who wins? We are told that's when Australia became a nation, our military creation. We went to the movies last week. The Escapers. Michael Caine's last movie, Glenda Jackson's last role and dying performance. Reflecting on commemoration, celebration of the Allied forces landing in France as the Great Wars ended and great men died. Two men of my life were part of it. My Uncle Bill won the Croix de Guerre for being shot down in that very battle. He was a solicitor, an officer in the Royal Australian Air Force, and a poet. And his brother, my father, too young and not fit enough, could not go. The following two poems tell us a little of their stories and something of mine. Uncle Bill was the bigger man who went. My father, the lesser man who stayed. None of us escaped, hero or civilian. Introducing one of those gallant young men to play the role of my uncle.
Uncle Bill, resettlement, 1919. Will you give them a stone? Who can give back the time that is gone? Who can give back the days before we answer to country's call and left our separate ways? Was it in vain, the labour, the sacrifice? Was it in vain? They are years that locust has eaten, the years when the dragon was slain. They made us a joyous welcome with buntings and bean fests and bands. Then they shut our eyes to our further needs, their ears to our just demands. It's pleasant to see you safely back. It's good that you were not killed. Your name is on a roll of honour. But your place, well, it had to be filled. Only a bar of ribbon or a strip of golden braid to mark the bigger man who went from the smaller man who stayed. We dwelt with fierce obsession on your gallant deeds before, and we cheered when you passed in procession, and surely you don't want more. Comforts you sent the wounded, honour you yield to the dead, and now there's the living to deal with and a problem to face instead. And the danger still was on you. Did you think the time to come would see our gallant lads of the front as the unemployed at home? Dead are the flowers you scattered, and cheers have been borne away, and yesterday's things that mattered are the myths of the past today. For you they fought and laboured. For you they have paid the price. Are the years that the locust has eaten, the years of their sacrifice. And from the Bible, Matthew 7, 9, chapter 11. Or what man is there of you whom, if his son asks for bread, will he give ye a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will ye give him a snake?
And from the lesser man, this one written by me. The alien. Dad was inadequate, my brother said, angrily from hairy male head, looking so much like the man he deplored, yet anathema to the gentle father I had once adored. Images like lanterns show, flickering through my head, prodded tearful flow, a heart's letting go, at half-truths being said. Dad never cried. That could not be, certainly not in front of me. Yet at work or play I saw him full of pain every living day. Sweat poured out in embarrassment and fear, every time emotion came ever so dangerously near. He kept himself safe distance, never to be shown, his eyes blue and clear, a person never to be known. So often his voice would crack, quickly cleared, then back on track. Often those eyes looked out in question and surprise, like a startled, how did I get here and who are you out there? And always leaving my question unanswered. Did he really care? Were you there for us? Not quite. Always peripheral to our sight, but the toil of your hands, what you did, was always life's background for this kid. Battered, freckled hands at that, always ready with gentle pat, reassuring in touch I never quite have found in other big male hands around. Those hands caressed chess pieces with a master's expertise, yet I know they turned in secret to some glossy bedroom sleeves, when not rubbing mum's weary feet and knobbly arthritic knees. They painted and drew, strummed musical chords and nurtured and grew a jungle of coloured and green, a famous garden to be seen. Plants were his friends with no tongue to attack, his deep felt unfitness, his painful lack of all the badges of real man, and his failure at the do-or-die plan. Voices of wartime derision, of his agricultural decision to push a farmer's plough, not wear gold insignia on his red brow, to walk through furrows of mud rather than rivers of blood, called Pommy and Kerr as his name, at the height of their zest, despite volunteer badge on the lapel of his vest, sending dreaded white feather and soul-destroying shame. His brother gifted his childhood with the title he much preferred. Because of a quite big beak, they always called him Bird. He sheltered it under an old straw hat, but sun cancer thrived in spite of that. My donkey's breakfast, or my old lid, he wore no matter what he did. This was a man of song. Our family stereo, our 3-in-1, strumming ukulele or old guitar, sketching cartoons, telling tales of a hard life and a home afar, of elegant boarding school days, making fun of brutal masters' ways, of the use of the rod and staff, initiations, what a laugh, what they had to do to arrive, those small boys, battling to stay alive in the England he never quite left. He went back there to die. I guess that is the acid test. And my most painful regret, I never used a simple cassette to record that glorious voice of that once King's College, Cambridge choir boy voice, or to thank him and tell him he brought me much joy. And I never said the words aloud, I love you and you make me proud. How I wish my foolish brother could see through his own male stuff what a wonderful man this used to be.
Yeah.
Not inadequate at all, but more than enough.
Yeah.
Sir, I've seen your world, sir,
Yeah.
and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
After all that war, your world, sir, born from humanity's worst deeds. Your world, sir, is fundamentally malignant, sir. I refuse your world, your title, your law, no honesty. Misdeeds of countless generations go on ignored. I've seen your world, sir, and I don't like it. Snake oil salesmen stalk the 6 p.m. news. Your world relies on abuse until you've wrecked the words, sir. Abuse, sir. I've seen your world and I don't like it. Sir, your system, your title, your establishment will exist long after I am gone, but I have seen your world, sir, and I don't like it. And others will see your world. Others will see these terrible things we do, and I've seen your news, sir, and I don't like it. A black box flight recorder recording the descending narrative of totality, somehow dividing while ascribing unity. I've seen your news, sir, and I don't like it. Your weapons of words become weapons of war. Poison and propaganda saturate the screens until we, the people, cannot agree upon reality. I've seen your news, sir, and I don't like it. And the pills you spruik, well, they make me puke, and they say jump, and we say how high? Well, how high? Well, the pharmaceutical companies would say very high, and of course the wealthy often lie, and I've seen your news, sir, and I don't like it. And I've seen your war, sir. I've seen your war. The prophets and the patriots and the agitated foaming missiles frowning down while we praise ignorant crowns and powerful lapels, and I've seen your war, sir, and I don't like it. And I've seen your world, sir, and it's not what I prefer, and I've seen your democracy, and I don't trust it. Corrupt capital officials voting against the people's will, pockets filled, they jiggle their purse strings from the shadows. It's a deeply bad state. And I've seen your democracy, sir, and I don't trust it. I've seen your truth, sir, and I don't buy it. How can I trust what you request I believe when you redact and tract and deny people like you and me, when you chop facts to suit your attack and never really look back over your shoulder to the wreckage that you cause for the greater good? Hold your account, well, someone should, but it's clear the truth has an agenda, an imposing, impossible, if button maybe, but the truth is bent, sir. Yes, I've seen your truth and I don't buy it, and I've seen your world, sir, and I don't like it, and I've seen your news, sir. You'd have me believe that we're trapped in four corners, B-52 bombers, Chinese whispers, nuclear twisters tearing down every small town. I've seen your news, sir. I've seen your news. And I've seen your psyop. Bigfoot footprints, giants, skulls, and the younger, driest water walls, and UFOs, and AI, and simulation theory, and dead internet theory, and Reichardt structures, and ancient granite precision, and I've seen your psyop, sir. The lying, the trying, the insane grabs for the minds of many, the power, oh, the power, wake up to this cold shower. The rains are slipping, too many of us are hopelessly gripping to the narrative of normalcy, the fallacy that washes in the flooding notion while icebergs smelt into the ocean, and the sky is becoming more dust than air. Does anybody care? Well, surely I digress, but yes, I've seen your world, sir, and I don't like it. Hear our voice. We own the choice. The power is ours in the here and now to rise up and say, this narrative you feed us, it's not okay. It's not my choice. Don't use my voice. In this polluting news, I choose to denounce your plastic. I am through. I've seen your eyes, sir, and I don't like them. The way they glare down from a mountain of money, 1,000 stolen futures and fortunes straight to make us break, and we rent our lives while behind your cold eyes. I wonder if you wish to own our thoughts too. And I've seen the way you produce food, Mass incarcerated cattle incinerated for capitalist cannon fodder. Mass produced monoculture morons destroying the lungs of the earth to maintain their bad habits. The lying, the twisting, the vining, the noxious timing and climbing, strangled, consumed, climbing, never finding satisfaction. I've seen your world, sir. I've seen your wars. I've seen your world, sir, and I don't like it. That's it.
Yeah. Andy, Judith.
Thank you. Here's lying for peace and sanity someday.
This story goes on from 1919. That first poem was written by Judith's uncle William Kempson after returning from World War I, the consequences of which we still face to this very day as children in Palestine are flattened this very minute.